Take a look at this. Ravens have had some of the same issues the Browns have this year. Ravens are the first team in NFL history to hold a double-digit lead in each of their first 6 games and not have a winning record. So Jim Harbaugh talked to the media this week, and this sounds a lot like Kevin Stefanski and the Browns. Listen to Harbaugh on what the defensive issues are.
We just didn't play the coverage right. The coverage was misplayed underneath. So it's a boot pass, the way we play it. It wasn't matched correctly. It's just something that we practice all the time. We should be better at it. It was a mistake. And, we can get that cleaned up and fixed. There's going to be things in the game. There's things that happen in the game on both sides. There's mistakes that get made that get taken advantage of. And football's not perfect. Guys match the wrong guys sometimes. Their eyes are in the wrong spot sometimes. Sometimes they overplay something and something else comes in behind them. That's the nature of the game, So sometimes you pay for it and sometimes you don't. Sometimes they pay for it and sometimes they don't. But in that case, we can play that coverage better, but just keep working on it.
G. Bush, I'm listening to John Harbaugh, and we're going, man, this could be a Browns press conference.
Yeah, he just does a little better. He just does a better job of coming off more personal, right? I think there's a lot of what coaches say. They say the same thing. The content is the same. It's just the way that you go about it, right? The way you couch certain things, right? He said, look, hey, sometimes, it ain't a perfect sport. Sometimes you're going to get gashed on certain plays when you're in the wrong thing. Sometimes you won't. That's a reality of it. But when you look at the difference between them and the Cleveland Browns, the part that happens with the Browns is this. We've watched them for 30 years. We've heard the same thing for 30 years. So after the 6th or 7th dude get up there as a coach and say it, younger people might not get it, but shoot. I mean, you've been watching the game longer than I have. You've heard this stuff, and after you hear it, you cool with it the first year because it's all right, I got to give him a chance. But when you get to year 3, year 4, you're like, I done heard all of this song and dance before. I ain't trying to hear it. Hey, my coach used to say, hey, don't tell me about the labor pains, just show me the baby. and I told him, now that I get older, I said, well, you couldn't have been married. You can't say that in 2022, buddy. You better just sit there and hold her hand.